to introduce our very funny and illustrious host. Let's hear it for Steve Ballo, everyone.
I'm just glad Gene didn't start him with the Italian stuff first. We have an unblemished stage. So welcome everyone to the comedy show. Going up for the first time. It's always, fun. We're a supportive atmosphere unless you're not funny, and then you're gonna lay up here like a dead fish. But it's been such the election. Let's just break the ice on it. Let's just say the election. Like, did J.D. Vance really say that he thought they agreed to not fact check during the election? That's that's crazy that I would deal with that. So I just can't even deal with the election because it's like everyone's got a bug up their ass about it. You can't even casually mention it in conversations. Like, oh, did you hear what they started? It was completely true. So I just want to move on, get past all the TV commercials. I had a bunch of political commercials earlier in the summer for a primary because I live in the bluest congressional district, so the primary is the only race. So I had a full June of every ad was like, fuck this guy, fuck that guy. But now it's like, oh my God, I have to see politics of not even my congressional district. I don't care about Mom Garrett Jones. They gerrymandered me out of this district. Shouldn't have to care. I voted for him and then, that's it. Gerrymandered me down. But, that's fun. I got a fun story about last week. I came here last week. And, that made me realize what my real, number one political issue is, top for me, is getting my bank, to open a branch next door so I don't have to pay $7 at the ATM. So that's it's not even the ATM fees, they just make a whole bank from my bank. And that's a big ask because my bank is real shitty. There's barely 3 branches in all Manhattan on it. So. But it's besides the point. Last week I had to get money, so I went to the ATM. And the ATM charges you $4, and then my bank's like, we went to a skeevy ATM. We're going to charge you $3 in addition. So $27 later, I had $20. So I paid $7 to get 20. So that sucks. But I was getting the money. I'm coming back, and I'm going to get my drink. And in front of me, there's someone that's like, oh, is it classy to break a 5 to tip? And I'm in my head I'm about to get this guy out. It's not. Don't worry about it. No one's judging you. So she's like, okay, she gets a change. She gives him $2. And then I don't even look. I just reach in the pocket. And I just don't even look. I just put the money in the thing. And the guy's like, oh, thank you. I'm like, wow, he's excited for the dollar. But, I walk around. I sit down, go to take out the money. And it's like, oh, here's that one from before. It's like, oh, I put the whole 20 in the car. And it's like, I don't get burned up by that much. It's like, oh, you accidentally tipped. You accidentally made someone's day by giving them a big tip. That's something to feel bad about. It's like, no. I'm going to get a bit out of this, and I'm going to have some good luck. And then the next day, believe it or not, my dad got to live out one of my dreams. My dream is to ride in a helicopter. I know it's not, if I paid $800 and get it done in an afternoon, but it's still my dream. And so he got to fly in a helicopter the very next day. And I was like, that's so cool. The problem was the circumstances. He had gotten hit by a truck on his bicycle and had to be medevaced to the area hospital. So, but that's true. My dad did get hit by a truck. And he called me the next day. That was the thing that made it kind of so weird. Because it's he never wears a bicycle helmet, so it's like, oh, I'm expecting to get the call one day, but it was him calling. It's like, yeah, I got hit by a truck. It's like, and he's like, my mom's like, he's not doing too bad. He's got 6 broken ribs, a broken scapula, punctured lung, broken fingers, his head's cut open, but other than that, he's fine. I was like, okay. And they're like, you don't have to come. I was like, okay. So I'm at home and I'm like, why the fuck did I not go? So I went. So that was my Saturday. I showed up, I saw him there, and he goes, why'd you come? I told you you didn't have to come. I was like, well, I'll keep Mom company then. She can't stay in the hospital with you all night. So we're there, I'm hanging out with my dad, we're watching football. It's great. other than his condition, but it's fun. My mom's there, and she's like, isn't it terrible to see your parents get old? And I was like, Mom, what the fuck do you want? He's not old. He got hit by a truck. I'd be in the same position if I got hit by a truck. Just because it's a medical setting doesn't mean it's because he's old. Like, 90% of people probably die from this circumstance. But I'm lucky. My dad's from the Bronx, and Bronx people don't die that easy. Because if you're going to be dying in cases where 90% of people are dying, you're not going to live to be 70 from in the Bronx. Am I wrong? And unfortunately. But I got that, and then the next day I'm with my mom. We're trying to put everything together. Let's see if somebody filed a police report. You would think if there's a medevac chopper, the cop should know about it. So we went to the police station in the town, and we go in is there a report of this? My husband got hit by a car, and they had to medevac him out. I'm sure there wasn't so many medevac choppers yesterday on that stretch of road in Delaware that you could pinpoint the one that probably was the worst crime in Delaware that day. So, we go there, they have no clue, nothing. Oh, it's jurisdictional, so now we got to deal with the town police, the county police, the state police. It's like, why does Delaware have that many police? They don't even have that many people. They have the people from the Delaware police. But no, they won't even we finally got the call. It's like, yeah, somebody's there, we're looking into it. But my mom's calling and they're not calling back. And it's like, I'm pretty much all the way to a Johnny Cash song now. It's like, my dad got hit by a truck, cops don't care, my wife's stuck in Thailand. So I'm almost the way there. But to get away from that, to wipe that sadness off, I'm going to start this show with a terribly sad story. Let's say the first time that I saw internet pornography. That was a great time. So I'll set the scene. It was 1996. My main source of learning about sex, Bill Clinton on the evening news. He's setting the bar. He's saying, if you have 3 cocktails, it shouldn't count as cheating. It's like, yeah, Big Willie made the rules, so that's what it was. So then, Big Willie again, federal grants. We actually get some computers that work in the school rather than those ones with the big floppy disk. That big fucking guy, that big square guy put it in. That's how old I am. We had that. So we got computers that were connected to the internet. And we're going to go on the internet to research our Egypt project. And I had mummification. So they said this was the advice they gave to us. You got to make sure you type the search engine website correctly. It's it's HTTP back in the day. It's HTTP://altavista.com. That was it. If you got there, you're ready to go. So we did that. We got there. I got it on Alta Vista. I'm checking every letter because I'm 12 or something, 10 even. And I got it, and okay, I got mummification. I'm going to type in mummification into Alta Vista, and let's see where it takes me. And this was before any kind of restrictions. They would just let a 12-year-old child just wild on the internet. I mean, like today, but it was more dramatic back then. So I just Google it. I hit the first one. Pops up. Mummification. The woman being mummified is completely naked. I can see through her mummifications that she's naked. It's like titillating. I'm like, oh, okay, let me look to the next page. The 2 women that were doing the mummification, now they're naked. I'm learning. I'm ready to go. Egypt is pretty much interesting than the movies make it seem. Click on the 3rd one. It's just a woman standing there pissing. Wow, mummification's a lot more complicated than I realized. So I printed all the pictures out, put together my storyboard, and my parents had to come in for a conference. But no, we got a great show tonight. I hope. So it depends on you guys. Let me invite to the stage a very close friend of mine, Miss Gay Larone.
Bring Steve back up. Have a really good night. My name is Dave. You know you want to laugh.
See you. Go. Let's do it. So, Gay brings up an interesting point. How many people have taken the course in stand-up comedy before this year. Well, I did, of course, obviously, I'm so good. No, I was, what do you call it, a junior in high school, or I was going into my junior year of high school. It was a summer course at Ithaca College with, do you remember Louis Ramey, the comedian?
Yeah.
He was so funny. He came, and it was just him in the dorm with us, 16 and 17-year-olds. It wasn't weird then. I mean, today I would not do that. But no, he came and he taught us, and he taught me, how to get up there and how to make jokes and punchlines and all that shit. And then I was, there was other courses too. One bunch of kids was making film courses, and they're like, we need footage of somebody smoking a cigarette. And they go, have you ever smoked a cigarette before? It's like, no, but I'd like to. So I was in their film smoking a cigarette for the first time.
Yeah.
And then we had our final presentation, was that we had to do a stand-up for the rest, all the other kids in the course, the film kids. And then the other group, unfortunately, was young women that were studying literature of the Holocaust. There's all women in that group. And I get up, and I get on stage, and my very first joke was, I just said, women's rights. That's the joke. And believe it or not, those young women learning about the Holocaust did not care for that.
Yeah.
Shocking. I'm bringing the microphone up because the next person is my friend that's been here before, Mr. Frank Vera. I think he's very funny. Nice job. No, it's fun. You know that it's about Newark. I was in Newark last Monday. I went to see, believe it or not, I went to another concert. I went to see Korn this time. Yeah. Korn, I couldn't believe it. Me and my buddy went, we've been going to Korn for 22 years, and it was never fuller than on Monday when we went to the Prudential Center.
Was everybody kind of old?
No, there's young kids, there's depressed people in all age groups. Ready for the Korn concert. And and that's how I knew, that's when I finally found out that Newark was a shithole, because he's like, we're from Bakersfield, California. There's a shithole just like here. And I'm like, oh wow. We're not that far from New York City. Like maybe somebody's from out of town. Like we don't all have to be suffering in Newark.
With the backwards R?
Yeah, that's it. Right there. Yeah, with a K and backwards R. Still, those dudes are old. They've done every drug on earth, and they still sound really good. I'm shocked. It was great. But, I'll get ready for our next guy. It's Mr. Johnson himself, Mr. Jeffrey Feller. Did you know? I want to catch you up.
Jeffrey Feller!
I'm already falling down as a host. It's going to be random. Who's the next person? He's talking about the Hudson Valley. Let's hear it for the Hudson Valley. I'm not saying I'm from the Hudson Valley, but I'm really just from Westchester. It is the Hudson Valley, but it's not the nice part. It's not like the hills and shit. It's just boring. But so I'm going to introduce this next guy. He's very funny. This man is from Brooklyn, so get ready. Mr. Alan Henley. I love Alan. It's like an angry leprechaun. It's so funny. Hi, Joe. That was very 90s new metal music where you just go wild, just throw the microphone and slam the stand around. I love that. A lot of energy. Bring the energy now.
Bring it.
So, we're coming next to the stage, a very funny young lady, Miss Camille. Thank you. Let's hear it for Camille. Great. What was the place? PG County?
Prince George's County.
Prince George's County, Maryland. Maryland's nice. I like Maryland. You got good crabs. If you need to get crabs, Maryland's the place to be.
Maryland's the grass.
Yeah. Strip club, good place. What's a good place to get crabs? Maryland strip club, where else?
Phillips crab.
Phillips crab house, Krabby Dick's in Delaware.
What kind of crabs are you looking for?
All kinds, of course. Okay. The bathroom at the comic strip's a good place, pretty dirty. There can confirm.
Oh.
Okay. introducing someone, I believe he's new to the room. I don't remember seeing him before, but let's introduce Mr. Jack Lyons. That was so good. Keep it up for Jack. I'm so sorry that I forgot. I did see him. I love that joke because the first joke that he says, because I'm definitely all-seater now. Whenever I go to the bathroom, I'm sitting every time, no matter how dirty the bowl is. I'm just that addicted to my phone. That's just the way it is now. It's, Gen Z are addicted, millennials are addicted, my mom's on Facebook. That's just the way it goes. But that's why I like they made a work Facebook for us called LinkedIn, so you could just while away hours away of work on the social media, and it's like, it counts for a job apparently. I'm gonna promote my next show. Like, if you're looking for a comedy show to go, come to this one. This is totally where it makes sense on LinkedIn. Okay. In all that fuss, I forgot who's next. I forgot your name. Ryan Kenny. Here for Ryan, that was great. He came out shot out of the cannon. I gave him one look and he was up here in second. Like I'm fucking Will Smith and I'm Chris Rock. No, that was great. But
you take that name out of your mouth.
Oh, slap it out. Come, no, but you said Irish football, and my brain, because I'm American, started singing because that's Irish football. It has nothing to do with overseas or even Ireland, really. Because Notre Dame is it's in France, but the team's the Irish, and they're in fucking Indiana. So how does that make sense? I'm Catholic, so I should know why that should make sense. I don't. So we're going to introduce our next comedian. It's Mr. Joe Trocco. Oh, his balls. Your balls. Balls. It is this guy. Comes up here, makes us think away, and then leaves his balls on stage.
Stevie, no problem grabbing them.
They're not one hesitation at
Steve,
all.
you should have left the white balls for me, absolutely.
You're going to find your way to them, I know. Robert's like, he's curious. I'm all over that. No, okay, so our next comedian, he's from down under, I think. I mean, his accent kind of alludes to that. So this is Mr. Cameron Berger.
You must be great. Thank you very much.
Hey, you're up this guy. So, I had an accident in between, so I had a little can of seltzer. Has anyone heard of that brand Liquid Death?
Yeah.
They make canned water, like the least interesting thing. Canned water. Oh yeah, all that. I bought that. I brought it to the marketing. I brought it with me today. It busted in my bag, ruined my pants, ruined the bag. The Australian predators eyeing me down now. It's like this guy's easy. He wets his pants easy. He's probably not that confident. But I can have him pregnant along with half of the Upper East Side by tomorrow. Okay, but speaking of men getting pregnant, I introduce a Gladys Comedy veteran to the stage, hosted many times before, one of my favorite comedians, Mr. Robert George. Let's hear it for Robert George. Now, I never remember that Robert George is Trinidadian and he's not a toboggan. Hard to remember. No, but he lost a couple of great sports stars this week. He kind of sucked. Think about an old story. A comedian I knew, Louis Ramey, used to tell me about the time that he once was on a basketball team with the Ken Bickelson. He said it was super fun, but the worst part was when they were in the shower later, and he was always like, get out of here. Okay, so let's get ready. Okay. All Italian people prepare for the slander. It's coming. I'm ready. Joe, I saw how hairy you were. You must be Italian. That's the thing. When you're Italian, you got chest hair. Like my wife's like, you're so hairy. But, okay, coming to the stage next, our favorite hostess with the mostest, Mrs. Jean Kennedy. Give it up for GK. It's like there's places you can go to learn about Jewish stuff. And in Manhattan, there's colleges. I know there's the new school, but what's the name of the school where you go to learn about Jews? Yeshiva. That was the joke. Yeah.
It's the Jews.
No, it's Yeshiva. That's the guy. Okay. No, I haven't even mentioned the holiday today. It would be funny if I was Jewish because my wife's already bringing 2 extra New Years to the table. We got January 1st. She celebrates Lunar New Year because her dad was Chinese, so we got January, February, and then Thailand has their own specific New Year on my birthday, April 13th. Believe it or not, it's the year 2574 in Thailand or something. And then if I was Jewish, we'd throw another New Year right in October. It's a great time for a holiday. I love the beginning of October. Oh, I love being off as a kid when you didn't have to go to school. So that's good. And then I got to college. Like, who said the stereotypical New York kid goes to Syracuse? Because I went to Syracuse and I was very offended that you said that. Yeah, cute. Yeah, that's a stereotype. You stand-up comedian, you probably went to QSEP. School of Communications, $175,000 degree, and this is what we're doing. But anyway, here's one of my favorite Jews. Here against the rules of her religion is Miss Michelle Schwartzman. Wow, that was hostile. Nice. We're getting towards the end. There's only a few left. Just bear with us. Don't fall asleep.
No.
Drink Coke. Are you all right? Okay. Invite the next person to the stage, a well-dressed man who's been sitting quietly in the back all night. I'm very interested in what he has to say on this panel.
I want you to give a rousing applause for our host, Steve Ballard. Steve is really very funny and could be a great comic if he listens to me. And
Thanks everyone for coming to the show. Everyone did a great job. You've been together quite an experience. I'll see you all soon.
Yay! Cameron Burke will be taking class over time.